Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander Tactical. Today looking at the newly released Re-Flex3D sling from Agilite. Now, quick disclosure, this was sent to me from Agilite. I think the last couple of pieces of content that I've made, I have worked directly with them. They're a good company, they allow me to voice my own opinions, and all they ask is just really for some good, honest content, and hopefully that's what we'll get today. Now, getting straight into it, as far as colour-wise are concerned, flat colours, this is available in 3 flat colours. This one that you can see here, the one that I have, as it matches the rest of my kit, this is in Ranger Green. You can also get this in a Coyote Tan colour, and then you can also get it in black. Now, at the time of filming, they're the colours, but I dare say as this product line grows, they'll become available in a lot more different colours. The materials, now actually to start, before we get into the materials, I have a quick look at the actual hardware itself. So all of the buckles on here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, the kind of the slide buckles. So these are all made with ceramic coated stainless steel, which is really nice. They're not particularly heavy, but they're still just as tough as you'd expect. So it's nice that they've upgraded rather than using plastic hardware. They've upgraded these to these really nice stainless steel ones. They also come with, as standard, 2 QD mounts, which I think is great, or QD points. These are the ones that you press on the back, or at least you push them in or press them on the back to pull them out. I think that's nice. There's some companies out there that you can spend quite a bit of money on a nice sling from them, and they don't even supply you with these. So I think adding those to this makes it just that kind of out of the bag, out of the box solution that you can just strap onto your rifle, and then you are good to go after that. Now, of course, so I mean, for my setup, we will have a look at my setup in a moment, but I just use one of them. The other sling, or at least the other QD mount, I take off and I just directly connect this straight to my stock. But it's nice the fact that the feature's there. Now, getting back into the actual materials themselves. So the first one we'll look at is the actual webbing here. Now, the webbing here is a kind of fairly standard mil-spec nylon webbing. The max dimension for this, you get 130 centimeters worth of this, the nylon webbing on here, and it's a 2.5 millimeter or a 1-inch webbing. What's 1.3 meters in old money? It's, I don't know, like a yard and a foot and 3/8 of a sparrow's wing, something like that. But you get a good distance with this, or a good length. The actual main part of the sling, and this is the Re-Flex3D element of this. So this is made from a recycled polyester material, and it's made in such a way that the way that this is knitted, it's knitted in a 3-dimensional manner. But what that does is it allows a little bit of stretch through here. Now, imagine the stretch with this, because polyester itself has a tiny little bit of give in it, but it's not a massive amount of give. So imagine it more like, you know, when you get some of those pants that are like a Dura canvas pant where they're made from a polycotton, and the polycotton itself doesn't have any stretch, but what they do is they add in a tiny fractional small amount of elastin. It's similar to that, so it gives you a little bit of stretch, but it's not a massive amount. So the whole length of this, so this is a 50 millimeter band, or a 5 centimeter band, or a 2-inch band, and you get roughly 60 centimeters on here, which is about 2 foot. I think 30 centimeters is about 12 inches. So you get about 2 foot of this. Now, when I pull this, really it's only expanding by maybe about, say, 6 centimeters, or maybe about 2 inches, but it's just enough to give you that kind of that I'm trying to think of the right word. What's the word? It's the expansion that it needs, that cushion that it needs, so that when you're moving your rifle around, if it is that you're running with your rifle, the difference between a hard sling or a fixed sling and one with elastic, this is the perfect kind of balance between the two of them. Personally, when it comes to slings, I prefer just a rigid webbing sling. But after a day, you find that it digs in, you find that it's just a bit of a nuisance. Whereas some of the other elastic slings that I've had, I found that they're just not tough enough. There's too much bounce in the rifle. Whereas with this, it gives you the best of both worlds, because you get that little bit of give in here. There's that elasticity. Although again, I'm not saying there's elastic in this, it's the way that the polyester nylon, it's the way that the polyester fibers have been woven in a three-dimensional manner to give it so when you pull this, really what you're doing is you're closing those gaps in the 3D build of this, which allows it to have this stretch. It's very nice. It's actually very comfortable as well. Now when you have it against your neck, so the rounded edges here is very similar to, hopefully, again, you might know the difference between webbing and tubular webbing. With the tubular webbing, it has those rounded corners, which when it's against your neck, tubular webbing feels so much better, but it's very similar to that, the rounded corners on here. So when it's against your neck, you can get all day wear out of this, and it doesn't bite into your skin. What I'd also say is that when this is wet and it's full of sweat, you also don't get it biting in, because with tubular webbing you can often get that, especially with the polyester one. The nylon tubular webbings are a little bit easier on the neck when you have been sweating and you've got salt in your skin. But with these, however they've done it, however they've been able to master this, with these rounded corners, you don't get that. Again, when it's wet and it's full of sweat, you don't get it rubbing on the side of your neck. Now what you might also have noticed is, if I hold this that way, I'm just trying to look into the camera there, so this is the outer side, the bit that you'll have here. But then on the inner side, what they've done is they've added, again, kind of a 3D element to this. Now it doesn't have any padding in here. Again, it's just the way that this has been stitched, or the Reflex 3D element to this, that it expands out here as well. So through the day when you are sweating, again, this is not going to stop you from sweating. However, it has these little small air channels through here as well, which one helps this to dry out that extra little bit faster, but two, just adds a small pocket of air around the strap and your neck to make sure that it feels really nice when it's on there as well. So now that I have this attached, setting it up is not particularly difficult. On the front here is my, here's the QD point. You can press this in, pull it out. Of course, you've probably seen these 1,000 times before. It's nice and low profile as well. These aren't those massive, huge ones that stick out quite a fair bit. And then on the back here, as I mentioned, so I have this set up so that it's attached to my stock. I keep the extra QD point on here. It doesn't rattle against it or anything, and it's useful just in case I do have to swap rifles through the day, or I don't know, whatever reason. I lose things. That's the actual reason. I lose things all the time. I put stuff down, I don't know where the bloody hell I've put them, so yeah, I keep that on there just in case. Now one of the things that I didn't mention on here is, so this is one of those ones that you can pull on to make it shorter and longer, and I like what they've done with the little handle on here. So this uses what I'm guessing is probably a 10mm bit of webbing, but they've made this with the Agilite having the little scorpion as their logo. I think it's very cool that they've turned this into like a little scorpion's tail. So throwing it on, super simple, you know, you got it on through the back there. I found it sits really well over your gear because of the wider strap on the back. Not having that wrap round is very easy to get on. It's very snag free. What you get a lot with the 50mm just kind of normal webbing or the tubular webbing is it often just ruffles up, which I know is stupid, but when you're pulling this out, You want to make sure that you've got as a minimal amount of snags, and it does a good job of that. Coming over my shoulder, it sits perfectly across my gear, across my neck. Now today I generally do go for something that is a long sleeve anyway, a long collar anyway, just to stop things rubbing on my neck, but you know, it sits there just right. Sits on my front again. So you can fully adjust this. If you need this to be a little shorter, then you can adjust it there. If you need it to be a little longer or shorter as it comes across your shoulders, of course you can adjust it there as well. And then when you need to move it, then you're on. You're doing whatever it is that you need to do with it. Being able to swap your different shoulders, which I think I've not got that right, mainly when I put that back on again. It just needs to be a little bit longer so that I can, yeah, it's a little bit too short at the moment, but if I adjust that to make it a little bit longer, then changing shoulders again is very simple and easy with this. I just threw it back on there for a second. But yes, very comfortable, very comfortable through the day. And then when you're done for whatever it is, you need to pull this a little bit closer to you, then you're good. I will say that this little scorpion tail here is really nice, because they've added this little rubber grip, and it is just one of those heat shrink kind of grips around it. You're not looking for that. Often it's a little piece of paracord that you've got to find and pull, or you tie some knots in it so that it's easy to find so that you can pull it. It's so much easier to be able to find this, grab it, lengthen it, find it, pull it, shorten it. Yeah, very nice. So there you have it, the Agilite Re-Flex3D sling. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this was sent to me from Agilite, but all they asked was just for some honest content about it, and hopefully that's what we have got today. As far as would I recommend a sling like this, I would wholeheartedly recommend this sling. It's very comfortable for all day, and the bit around that extra little kind of give in it, so when it's on here like that, you can see that there's just a little bit of give. It's not like those stupidly bouncy slings that you can get, not like that at all. Instead, it's just an extra kind of inch, maybe 2 inches worth of give, so that when you've got this on and you're manipulating your weapon, you're doing whatever it is that you need to do, it just gives you that extra little bit of freedom of movement. I think that's the point that I was trying to make earlier, and that is that whole kind of part around freedom of movement with this. Yeah, really nice, really nice. Right, okay, so of course a huge thank you to Agilite again. I will leave some of their links below so that you can see more from them. Definitely give them a follow on Instagram or Facebook, and I would highly recommend signing up to their newsletter. They're not one of those companies that bombard you with emails, 50 emails a day, but instead they just send out stuff about new product launches. And importantly, they send out stuff about giveaways that they do. There must be at least a giveaway a month, maybe a giveaway every other month that they do, whether it's a plate carrier, whether it's a chest rig, or whether it's a sling like this. Yeah, they're good people, and they don't overwhelm you with just pointless emails. So yes, of course, all of those links will be below. I'll leave some of my social media links below so that you can see more from me here on Moorlander Tactical, and my sister channel Moorlander EDC, where we look at more kind of everyday items. And whether you're watching this on YouTube or Rumble, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay tactical. $1 for some really nice straps, some really nice the fuck am I am struggling today. I think it's the heat. Sling, it's a freaking sling, fuck's sake, fuck. Find that you need to maybe pick up another attachment for it, but just the fact that you've got these on here, I think that is great. I've got this on my, as far as slings go, it's a cracking sling, and it's certainly one that I would definitely recommend. Apart from when you're trying to talk to somebody and you put it on, because you always get confused because you don't know what you bloody hell you're doing. I should do that bit again. Now I hope you're good, folks. This will be coming out on Friday, as tactical content always comes out on Friday. I missed the last couple of Fridays because I was busy doing a couple of other things. But yeah, I hope you're good, and if you have a weekend adventuring, if you have a weekend doing kind of pew pew stuff, don't forget your eye and ear pro and make sure you have a good time. Yeah, sweet. Have a cracking weekend, folks. See you soon.